Alright, let's start the stream. I still need to adjust the size of the screen, though. I really need to figure out how to just lock into this screen so I can make it as big as I want. That looks like it should be wide enough. And then up there. Good. Looks perfect. Does sound good. Does indeed sound good. Alrighty. So hello people of the internet, both on YouTube and Twitch. It is I, Soul Rector, gonna here back with more Fate Grand Order, where today we will be continuing Avalon Lefay. Really quickly, does look like there is a couple news posts. First is the 6th anniversary commemorative Holmes pickup summon. Cool. I'm not rolling for Holmes. There is much more servants available for 6th anniversary that I'm going to be going for. Plus, I'm pretty sure I have the Chaldea anniversary CE. Yeah, sorry Holmes, not rolling for ya. And then a commemorative campaign to celebrate the 6th anniversary. 60 quartz if the campaign Facebook and Twitter posts get a total of 50,000 reactions and shares. That's going to end up happening, no issues. There will be memorial quests. Okay. Up to Solomon. Interesting. And up to chapter... Okay. I'm gonna have to hope that, tutoring torch... Right, there are special, CEs. So memorial quests will be available for each period. I don't know what the memorial quests are, but I hope that I get to face Tiamat again. Mash needs to get another beast under her belt. Same thing with Solomon, actually, as well. Both of them definitely need to be taken down solo by Mash. But there are 36 limited time craft essences with original art. You get a total of 2. And we don't get all of them available now. Ushi is clearly one. Mash is always one. Oh, there we go. So let's see here. We have Ushi, Astolfo, Ash, Hajime, the Dioscuri, the Voyager. Oh no, these are just 6 that you get. Oh, these are the 6 you get normally. Okay. My bad. My bad. My brain. Or maybe, I don't know. I'm a little tired. It's a little confuzzled. Let's see here. The second set consists of Nito Burrito, Kama, Domin, Abby, Van Gogh, and Nobukatsu. Third set consists of Helena, Ishtar, Jaguar Warrior, Jason, Mysterious Alter Ego, Lambda, Mysterious Idol X, A. Oh, those 2 are very tempting, but Kama's there as well. I want to give Kama a chance. Currently it's Lambda and XA. The next set, the 4th one, is Carmilla, Maeve, Moriarty, Benny Enma, Yu, Miss Crane. The 5th set is the biggest of the sets, is Mozart, Lartoria, Scotty, Asclepius, Bartholomew, Castoria, Vritra, sorry, that's very blurry imaging, Himiko, and Suna. And the final set is Sanzang, Gareth, Muramasa. And we also get the Mysterious Mask commemorative command code, which is 1 star when attacking with the engraved card, and decreases the crit rate by 10% for 1 enemy. So we only get 2. I think it's going to end up being Lambda and Achan. Is going to be my 2 choices, since Mash is not on any of these. Although Kama's is a very, very close third, I would say. But yeah, that's all the news. And we'll go ahead and claim the single login thing. Go here, claim our weekly master mission that we've done, the 1 of them, because we haven't faced any Latzer, Caster, Servants, Archer, yada yada yada. So, without further ado, let's continue with with Fragment 7, the giant hole to the east. So, This is back in the past with Aesic. Excuse me. Had to take a drink. As a reminder, if you have not been watching this part by part as it goes up, or after it's already uploaded, at the end of saving Norwich, Mash was teleported back to the past, where she has met with Aesic the Savior, as well as Tamlin Todorot, who I'm very much guessing is Habitrot. And she met up with them, and Aesic, who looks very much like Castoria in her second ascension, said that she wants to explore the giant hole that is apparently still in this version of Britain. This is also shortly before Uther becomes the king of Londinium, so it is before Londinium's fall. And we did find out a few sections ago that after Londinium fell, Aesic took the blame. And Aesic was killed. The mysterious Tamlin disappeared. Grimmer the Sage managed to get away. And the Black Knight had his ears cut off, if I remember reading correctly, because I did go back and watch that video. So, yeah, no mention of what happened to Mash, unless she's also the Black Knight, in which case I really hope that's not the case. Because, yeah, that would be bad. She would be able to wear her glasses. But seriously, I do very much wonder how the hell we're going to get Mash back when she's 2,400 years in the past. But we'll figure that out hopefully soon. For now, let's continue with Fragment 7. In the giant crater, east side. Aesic the Savior, Ector the hard-headed Black Knight, Todorot the Tamlin, Ector. And Mash, the mysterious Shield Knight, who claimed to have come from 2,400 years in the future. Together, these four companions traveled the land of Britain, now free of clan warfare as they made their way toward the pit. The year was Fae Era 400, about 6 months before the coronation was to be held at Londinium. 6 months, okay. So you haven't actually been reborn several times then, Aesic. You've just been alive for a really long time. That is right, there has been multiple mentions that Aesic, like, very, very long time, but jeez, Aesic's been at this for a while, it sounds like. That's right, whenever I banished a calamity, I'd always hide out in a cave and rest in a coffin for a while. Let's see, I think I'd usually sleep for about 20 years or so. Anyway, disappearing like that, it's no wonder everyone thought I'd died in the fight. So why would you hide away from everyone like that? Wouldn't they want to shower you with gratitude for saving them from a calamity? Okay, and a calamity occurs every 100 years. So, she's asleep for 20 of the years, and it's an unknown period of time that she's awake to deal with the calamity as well as the fallout of the calamity. Well, actually, she's awake for 80 years, so... Yeah. Awake for 80 years, sleeps for 20 years? Yeah, I could definitely see why people might think you die. No, they wouldn't. I'm a caster, the one who channels the voice of paradise. Most fairies in Britain hate everything about me. If I'd stick around after banishing the calamity, I would inevitably end up the cause of conflict myself. So I decided to hibernate while I let the clan leaders handle the post-calamity politics. Hibernate, as in literally sleep all winter while there isn't enough food to go around? That's right. Plus, it was a great way to recover the magical energy I spent banishing calamities. But I won't have to do that this time. Things are going to change in Britain now that Uther's going to be king. This Lostbelt, this will no longer be a world where people kill each other for no reason. The fact that you said in the future it's the heir of the High Queen is proof that the world must have changed. Well, I guess that's true. The Faerie Britain I knew was ruled by a single monarch, but still. Are things really that terrible in Britain right now, Aesic? As you said, the clans were always fighting, but I just can't imagine that all fairies would be so aggressive. There's only so much land in Britain. These days, there's enough for each clan to have their own territory, but that wasn't always the case. The land of Britain is very literally made from and built upon the bodies of dead fairies. It only took the form it has now at the cost of thousands of fairies being killed every day in constant warfare. So the very conflict the clans fought over the limited land in this world created more land to live upon. For that reason, hating and killing other clans became not just accepted, but encouraged. Had it not been, Britain would still be as small today as it once was. So I've always tried to just prevent the calamities from wiping everyone out while doing my best to stay away from the clan wars. I see. Totoro also told me how the Isle of Britain is made from the bodies of dead fairies. I suppose I can see how that might make waging war to expand living territory here necessary, but why is it that Britain was so small in the first place? In the world I came from, the Isle of Britain was much larger than this. I can only imagine something strange must have happened long ago that made it necessary to rebuild the land with fairy corpses. Yes, I wondered the same thing myself. Why did Britain end up like this? But I was only born 3,600 years ago, which I would guess would be Fae Era 4000 from your perspective. And nobody ever taught me anything about what happened in Fae Era 12,000, when Britain first came into existence. Fae Era 12,000? That's around the same time Olympus diverged from proper human history. Okay. Interesting. So, Olympus and Faerie Britain have a similar point of divergence. With Olympus, it was all the Olympian gods. Well, rather, it was with Zeus forcing all the Olympian gods to give him their power so that he could drive off Zephyr. So, Zephyr the cause again? That doesn't mean there's no British history that goes back further. Are there really only 12,000 years of Fae Era and that's it? Yes, that I'm sure about. The records at Orkney said as much. In the beginning, there was only the ocean, 6 fairies, a shrine maiden, and a beast. Oh? So, 6 fairies, an ocean, a shrine maiden, and a beast. That mural had 6 fairies, a beast. I didn't see a shrine maiden, though the Outer Gods priestess did flash into our mind at the sight of it, so... Hey, Mordred, welcome to the stream. How be things? Not unless you're the beast that was at the start of Faerie Britain, or one of the 6 fairies, or a shrine maiden. I don't think you're any of those 8 things. No, how many times do I have to tell you? If you want to dye it yellow, you use onion skins. If you want to prevent the colors from fading, you use salt. Boil some water, dissolve the salt, then soak the clothes. We went over this yesterday. If you're not going to do it properly, then don't bother doing it at all. Just stick to tying enemies up. Oh, poor Totoro. You wish you were a death to all Fae? Wow, Mordred, you're being brutal. What did the Fae do to you? How did it go again? How do you use yarn again, and how do you get the cotton to look nice again? I don't know, I just don't know. Why am I like this? Why can't I do these simple things? Totoro, are you still up? What? Yeah, I'm up. I'm on guard duty tonight. I wasn't just practicing stuff or anything. Now, what are you still doing up? Go back to sleep. We're going to the pit tomorrow, remember? Practice, so you're not just picking up all these tools scattered on the ground. Uh-oh. Totoro's been caught. I don't want you to answer. Okay. I mean, the fairies are pretty brutal, admittedly. Especially considering what happened when the fairies of that one village found out, hey, that guy's a human. Let's kill each other to make sure that he's ours. And then we'll dismember him so that we can each have a piece of him. Because sure, that's sensible. But there's a lot of good fairies out there. Totoro here is one. Oh gosh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I have it all wrong, don't I? Let's see, I'm guessing you're in the middle of sewing something, right? That's right. I'm making Aesic's coronation gown. She told the humans at the castle that she didn't need one for herself, so I thought I'd make her one. True, probably also wear the skin, just, be close. How many times have I met Tristan? Tristan is also an excellent example of not a good fairy. Although, honestly, I'm wondering how much of that is Beryl's influence, because Just because, based on the last scene we saw, Beryl's definitely taking advantage of Tristan by making her use a curse that literally rots her soul. Like, I don't know, if Beryl reveals that he's been doing that a lot, and that the reason Tristan is this way is because of Beryl, then Tristan might go up in the role for thread just because I want to see what she's like without that corruption. Sewing is the only thing I've ever been any good at, but I just can't do it. I've been trying for months, and I'm no closer than when I started. 2 or 3 days after I hear something, I just forget it entirely. Oh. Interesting. So, Todorot has memory problems, but Habitrot doesn't. Now, if I remember correctly, that fairy we met at the very beginning of our expedition in Faerie Britain, the unnamed fairy, also had memory problems, and eventually turned into a Morse. And it was because she forgot her name. Todorot isn't necessarily Habitrot's name, because she's Tamlin Todorot. So, did Asik give Todorot this name to stop her from becoming a Morse? And gradually it becomes ingrained into her being to help her out. Maybe. But, yeah, I'm not so sure if killing all Fae is good. I can't do anything except stuff I was born knowing how to do. The Black Knight says all I have to worry about is fighting. But ever since I saw those beautiful gowns at the palace, there's been this kind of ache in my chest. I keep feeling sad and just wanting to cry for no reason. It feels like I'm missing something important. Something I need to feel whole. Oh, no. She doesn't have her purpose. That's what's going on with Todorot. She doesn't have a purpose. Okay, so she gets the purpose to make bridal gowns, though, I guess, because she's very much obsessed with that. So thought maybe if I could make clothes like human tailors can, I could figure out what it is. But I'm just too stupid. Aw. No matter how many times someone teaches me something, I can never learn anything new. I don't know why I'm like this, but I still want to try making clothes. Honestly, I'd much rather do that than fight. Todorot. Mordred, is Todorot a bad Fae? Todorot isn't dead, but she's still a good Fae, is she not? Why don't you try keeping a diary? Everybody forgets things sometimes, but writing can help with that. It can be just like taking notes. All you have to do is write what you want to remember. I know because I keep a diary too. If you'd like, I'd be glad to share my tips and tricks every day. Aw, Mash has a diary, that's adorable. But I don't know how to write. And even if I tried to learn, I'd just forget that too. That's okay. I don't know how to read or write in Fairy either, but we can study together. Don't worry, Todorot. Even if your mind forgets how to write, your body can be trained to remember for you. The very fact that we're conversing right now shows that you're able to hold a thought in your head and put it into words, so if you can do that, you can absolutely put your thoughts into the written words too. I promise you that's something you were born knowing how to do, just like your other skills. Motivational speaker Mash. 99% of the Fae deserve death. The other 1% are just sad casualties, and you accept those casualties? Good gracious, what did the Fae do to you, Mordred? Did you have a bad experience growing up or something? So this is the pit. It makes sense Camelot wouldn't be built here yet. Are you really going down there, Isaac? Oh, I unmuted. Are you really going down there, Isaac? I'm against this. It's creepy. It's quite safe, Todorot. There are no Moors near the pit, and all the other fairies keep their distance. We won't have to worry about being attacked by anyone from the anti-Lindinium faction here. All you have to do is keep hold of your thread while I reinforce it with Magecraft. And all Mash has to do is hold on tight so she doesn't fall to the bottom. Me? Aw. You want Mash to go down there? Then I'm going too. It's not fair to make her go by herself. I'm afraid you have to be up here, Totodile. There's no one else who can raise or lower the thread after all. Alright, but then what do we do? It's okay, Totodile. This did come as a surprise, but I'll be fine. I have investigated old ruins like these a number of times before. And I know your thread is just as strong as a solid wire rope. So you don't have to worry about me. I promise. I'll come back safe, so you just watch over me from here. But as a hint, there are constant hints in this Lostbelt. There are constant hints in this Lostbelt, what? That all fairies deserve death? I mean... there are... I will admit, there are some bad apples out there, but... there's not that... I don't know. One says the Fae sell Mash into slavery and the next time they save them. But those guys weren't proper Fae from Faerie Britain. One of them was, and he ended up betraying Mash. The other two, however, weren't from Faerie Britain. They drifted in. Okay, you got it. You're really brave, aren't you, Mash? Okay, Mash, come this way, please. We'll tie one thread around your waist as a lifeline and make a foothold with the other thread so you can stand. There, that should do it. We should be able to talk to each other through the thread too, so if you sense any danger, all you have to do is yell. Should the foothold come loose, we, by which I mean Hector, will pull you back up with the lifeline as fast as we can. My enchantment will let Totodile extend her thread up to 8 kilometers, but you don't have to go all the way down to the bottom. All you have to do is reach a point where you can tell how deep the pit is, and what lies at the bottom. Remember, you're only there to look around, okay? Obviously, the only one of us thinking of doing more than just looking is you. One of these days, you really need to learn to stop attacking dangerous things the moment you see them. All Fae from Faerie Britain deserve death. They said it at the beginning, the Fae are whimsical. One day they help you, the next day they murder you. That is just the nature of Fae in, general mythology. Fairies are whimsical, chaotic. They are chaotic creatures, you know? They are whims. They are chaos incarnate, so... I guess... the Faerie Britain... Britain Fae are on another level. I guess I'll have to see more about what you're talking about. You're lucky you have me and Rhynek. No one else could handle your so-called strategies. He's right, I didn't figure out this until Mash showed up, but it's true. You take way too many risks, Aesik. Not to mention you're totally merciless towards our enemies. Oh, don't be silly. I'm just keeping things fresh. So does Aesik fall in the bad Fae category? Because it's sounding like she might be a little bit like that standard Fae stuff. She seems nice right now, but she is very much putting Mash at risk here. Still, I will admit I've been leaning on you all more than I should. After all, you always help me make it through even the toughest battles with a smile. I've felt like giving up so many times. If not for all of you, I would have never made it this far. Okay, I'll be back soon. I'm counting on you to help me navigate Aesik. True. Well, she said that she tries to stay out of politics because otherwise she would be the next catastrophe to the clan Fae, so... I think I need to see more. Because we're seeing a very limited scope of things, you know? I feel like we haven't seen enough. We've seen some extreme examples, but not enough to say all the Fae should die. I've been going down for 60 minutes so far. I'm 7 kilometers down now. And I guess all the fairies in Camelot are very whimsical and don't give a fuck about anybody outside of Camelot. You know? Still no changes in scale and no signs of life. Although, is this ash? It's blowing up from the bottom of the pit. This must be where the ash I sometimes see in Faerie Britain's atmosphere comes from. And if there's ash, there must be something burning. I wonder what could be down here. I wasn't expecting it to be this deep. Can you still not see the bottom, Mash? Must be pitch black down there now. No? How deep is 7 kilometers? 7 km in miles. That's almost 4.5 miles deep. Damn. 4.5 miles into the Earth crust. How deep is that as far as the layers of the crust? No, Earth mantle depth? I'm just curious here. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we are nowhere near. So this is not this sounds deep, but it's really not all that deep. The Earth's mantle is 1,800 miles deep. We're nowhere near. Are you okay? Are you cold? I can't see any light from the surface anymore, but it's actually fairly warm. That said, it feels like air is getting heavier the further down I go. I'm only about able to breathe thanks to Galahad's protections. 7,400 meters. 75. Still no change in the pit. Can you extend the thread any further, Isaac? I won't be able to see what's going on unless I... Wait. Oh? Hello? Temperature already get high from the depth itself? It depends, really, as to how deep it goes. A deep enough pit, like a cave, would get more cold before it starts getting hot again. So really it should be more cold unless it is connected to some underground heat source, in which case, yes, it would start getting hotter. And I don't think whatever that is a heat source. I can see something down below. There's a red light. It almost looks like a... Uh-oh. What's that sound? What's going on, Isaac? Mash, get out of the foothold. The thread's being corrupted. A fatal surge of magical elements is coming up from below. No way, there's enough cursed energy here in this Lostbelt to cover all of Britain. No, the entire planet. Interesting. There is enough cursed energy here to cover the entire planet. So we found the source of the Earth going poof. That place down there isn't of this world. Don't look it in the eye or it'll... Mash? Mash! Oh no, she's lost consciousness. Get her out of there, Hector. I can't believe it. That thing at the bottom. It's... Cernunnos. Wait, Cernun... Okay, so they did mention Cernunnos. Cernunnos is a god. So there is a god in Faerie Britain. And it's at the bottom of the pit. That's ominous. And isn't it in the era of the High Queen a very common practice to throw people to their deaths in the pit? Is Morgan making a sacrifice to a god? But why? What's an ancient self to God's corpse? It's a corpse. Temperature goes up 1 degree per 30 feet. Huh. I didn't realize that. I thought it all depended on, like, how it's ventilated and that kind of stuff. The more you know. But, okay, so, I mean, you can still sacrifice things to a god's corpse, you know? A corpse, especially in the Type Moonverse, a god's corpse still probably holds considerable power. Ooh, unless Morgan's channeling... This just raises a lot more questions. And it's still giving off curse as well. Wow, Mash, you're awake. Oh, finally. Damn it, Mash, you scare me to death. Aww. Totoro, please calm down. Let me see. The last thing I remember, I was going down the pit and... I'm so sorry, Mash. I was obviously being reckless, and you nearly paid the price for that. You're in Salisbury's Great Cathedral now. We brought you here after you lost consciousness. Your whole body was covered with a horrific curse when we pulled you out of the pit. My magecraft alone wasn't strong enough to remove it, but with this land's cleansing power... and the power of the Wind Clan, I was finally able to dispel it. Now I remember, I fainted when I saw that fire. Thank you so much for saving me, Asik. I'm the one who should be apologizing. I caused this. I set the fire at the bottom of the pit. That can wait until later. That's something we'll probably need to spend 10, 20, no, 200 years resolving. I'm just glad we know it's down there now. Thank you for helping us, Mash. Once Britain has been officially unified, I'll talk to Uther about possible solutions for what's in the pit. Okay, so how much do you think a dead god being at the bottom of such a deep hole would affect the temperature then? Mordred, in your professional opinion, how would a dead god's corpse affect the temperature of a pit that deep? Is that all you have to say, Isaac? Mash almost died, you know. I know, but there's nothing else I can possibly do to make this up to Mash right now. I haven't ever studied any magecraft that could send her back to the future. Oh no, please don't worry about me. I was interested in what was at the bottom of the pit too. In Faerie Britain, people just treat the pit as something that's always been there. But when you think about it, for even 2 seconds, it's obviously strange that there's a giant hole in the middle of the island. I honestly thought it was weird that nobody investigated it all this time. Is the pit still around in the future? Nobody ever filled it in? Well, given how deep it is, I'm not surprised. For all we might know, it might even be bottomless. And since unlike the Spear of Selection, it doesn't seem like something that can be sealed away, I don't think we have much choice but to keep an eye on it for a while. Yeah, the corpses of dead. Which is morbid to a very high degree. Does that mean all the iron unless the fairies are literally producing raw materials out of nothing, then doesn't that mean all the wood, all the stone, all the metal, and all these weapons is also corpses? Like, they say don't build on top of a giant burial ground, but Faerie Britain is a giant burial ground. The Spear of Selection? Do you mean the Staff of Selection? Now that you mention it, I'm surprised you don't have the Staff of Selection despite being this land's savior, Isaac. Did you lose it somewhere? I haven't heard of the Staff of Selection, but no, I don't have the Spear of Selection any longer. The implements of selection came to Britain along with me when I first washed up from my homeland. Hey, Lucario! Welcome to the stream. Lucarlo, my bad. Welcome to the stream, Hobby Things. So, hang on. Hold up here. Asik isn't from Britain? Isn't from Faerie Britain. She washed up here. Poor Kay. But I'm afraid my feelings corrupted them, making them unsuitable. So I had them sealed away inside this cathedral. I'm doing pretty okay, a little bit tired, but very much happy to be continuing the story of Lostbelt 6. Man, what a waste. The garden and spear used to be Asik's trump card. The garden. So the Garden of Avalon. Okay. So we know Merlin is apparently a thing as well, because Castoria has made multiple mentions of learning from Merlin. Asik has access to the garden and is not from here, so I can only presume the garden is the Garden of Avalon. And the Sword of Selection also comes from Avalon if memory serves. So, does Asik know Merlin? / is Merlin maybe just a... what's the right word? Is Merlin just another identity Aesic's taken on? I don't know, there's a lot here to try and puzzle out. The garden was a bounded field that could trap nightmares, and the spear was a weapon that could admonish any fairy who touched it. But then, during the last calamity, the fairies behaved so badly that Aesic got super mad at them. And that caused the nature of the spear to turn away from what it should be. If you don't mind me asking, could you tell me what makes those weapons so unsuitable? How do I put this? The spear itself is still as strong as ever, but when it turned, its restraints were removed. Its capability to recharge kind of went haywire. Basically, the spear selection no longer uses its wielder's magical energy to power its attacks. Okay, so that would explain why Percival can use it. No, now it does so by feeding on the life force, well, the youth, really, of its... Oh, Percy. So, that's why he was hesitant to use his NP. Percival's NP literally shortens his lifespan. And he already started with white hair, which is why he gained black hair, because he's growing older. So his hair turns black when it gets older. Oh, Percy. That's a death flag for certain. Percival death flag has been raised. But that is that fragment. And yeah, I do... So we know this is the point of convergence. Then that is around the time that Olympus diverged from proper human history as well. I have to wonder if it has to do with Sephir. If Sephir has some way, shape, or form caused this place to be how it is. So we know the Olympus Lostbelt is because Sephir was defeated by Zeus. In proper human history, Sephir was defeated by a human with Excalibur. Humans don't exist. So what if this point of divergence is that Sephir succeeded in wiping out humanity? But no, that can't be it either, because there is one human that is the common ancestor for all of the humans that are essentially genetically modified clones throughout this whole Lostbelt. That was revealed a couple of sections ago, I think. No, just now MASH mentioned that 12,000 years ago, that's around the point of divergence for the Olympus Lostbelt as well. So I'm pretty sure that they have a very similar time of divergence. Okay, section 16 is actually kind of short. So we're going back to Gloucester, however that word is pronounced, where Murian is. This is a 6-arrow node. So let's get this started. Let's get a drink while it's loading this. I mean, unless MASH is an unreliable narrator, I guess. Which could very well be possible. They're battling around. Good morning. I'm sorry to call you all heroes so early when I know you're still exhausted from yesterday's battle, but I'm afraid this could wait. Last night, Artoria and Sol received invitations from Lady Murian of Gloucester to attend Fairium. Fairy ball she'll be holding soon. Never mind that. How are you doing, Percy? Me? Oh, don't worry. I'm fine. My hair is the only thing really different about me. In fact, I'm actually happy about this. It makes me look distinguished. Truth. That is truth. Also, can't forget the revelation that we had yesterday that Percival apparently knows Tamlin Lancelot and loves, or loved, Tamlin Lancelot, which is interesting. Since, yeah, this is... Faerie Britain is a tangled web. I always admired the Count's dashing hairstyle, so now I feel like I can hold my own, at least a little. Oops, sorry. I'm sorry, that just slipped out. Come on, Percival, you're not a child anymore. Anyway, we still need to decide what to do about Lady Murian's invitation. Holding a ball now, huh? She's up to something, that much is for sure. Hang on, you said this fairy ball is called Faerium? What exactly is that, anyway? Allow me to explain. I've always wanted to go to a ball, so I know all about them. Faerium, a moonlit gala that every fairy in Britain dreams of attending. Every fairy who has done something impressive that year, like the clan heads, is invited to speak about and be celebrated for their accomplishments. Attendees get to enjoy never-before-seen scenery, never-before-eaten cuisine, and never-before-heard-of music. And then, to cap it all off, they decide on the Fairy of the Year, the one who stands atop fairy society and shines more brightly than any other. Isn't that right, Artoria? There's not a fairy in Britain who doesn't dream of attending Faerium, right? Yes, maybe. I suppose there was a time I dreamed about it myself. Wait, does this mean we're going? Because I was kind of hoping I'd never have to go to another Faerium if I could help it. This is our chance to ring another bell. Yeah, that's definitely what Murian has in mind with this invitation. Though I still don't know why she's giving us this opportunity. That's right, this is Murian's way of making her intentions known to both the Queen and the Child of Prophecy. It makes perfect sense that the Lord of Gloucester would hold a ball from time to time, and that goes double for one with a long storied history like Faerium. And of course, Artoria and Sol will hardly be her only guests. I doubt Morgan will step away from her throne, but she'll almost certainly send a delegation. And I'm almost certain that Morgan is bound to Camelot as well. Because we know that Avalon, that sealed Merlin away, was sealed by a spell that none who hold sin shall pass, or something like that. And that was on the walls of Camelot, even if it was painted over. So I'm wondering if that's okay, actually, this just occurred to me. That could either be a vandalism, as, like, Morgan doesn't seem the type to pettily do that kind of vandalism if she was sealed in. And honestly, this literally just occurred to me. And if this is true, it would flip the whole script. But what if it's not actually vandalism, it's an alteration of the spell? The original spell says that none with sin shall pass, or something like that. But now it's that no one with sin shall pass. So now, because it's been vandalized, it's no one without sin shall pass. And if that is the case, and Morgan is trapped in Camelot, then that would make her without sin. So it's either not actually a spell, and just a callback to what sealed Merlin away that has been pettily vandalized, or it's a spell that has been altered and is sealing Morgan away. Because we've not seen her leave Camelot. Until proven otherwise, I have full reason to believe she can't leave Camelot. And if that is an altered version of the spell that's sealing Merlin... Yes, I do remember you, Lucarlo. I do indeed. We gave you help with, You used my melt to literally melt through an enemy in Lostbelt 3. The new player with EX rank luck, to be fair. Anyway, so that's just some random speculation on my thought, you know. It very well could just be vandalism, or it could be a really, really interesting inversion of the classical spell that sealed Merlin, which would possibly make Morgan a good person. Which might raise her up on the to roll for scale. It depends exactly how she got in that situation. If I'm right, I could be wrong. This is just wild speculation. At minimum, Tristan and Lancelot will be among them. Right, of course. Lancelot always wins Fairy of the Year. Little blue bitch, huh? Muramasa does not like Lancelot. Holy cow. Muramasa is salty. I mean, he is an... He's not a Saber, though. He's an alter ego, but that's kind of hilarious how salty Muramasa is. Oh, if Lostbelt 6 got animated, how many people would lose their minds at seeing Shiro Emiya be so petty? Oh, that would be hilarious. But how is your adventure through the Lost Belts going, Lucarlo? Have you managed to make it to 4? So no one from any faction can fight at this ball, right? That's right, which makes this a perfect opportunity. Under ordinary circumstances, we'd never be allowed in Gloucester now that we've defied the Queen by ringing 2 bells and defeating Woodwoes. But for this occasion, we can proudly attend the ball as distinguished guests. Damn, you've made a lot of progress in about 2 weeks. You're blazing forwards. What do you think of all the story thus far? That is the big question. And once we're inside, well, sneaking around and fighting secret rooms is what you do best, right, Artoria? You pause Lostbelt and are now doing free quests? Yeah, Lostbelt 5.2 is really where the difficulty does kick up a notch, admittedly. But doing free quests is definitely a good idea, especially because I think this anniversary is when we'll get a bunch of extra quartz for having done free quests in the past. I knew it. The shady spells of Artoria. Did you have to say it like that? Then it's settled. Already a carriage right away. Ball is being held tonight, so we'll need to hurry if we are going to make it to Gloucester by evening. What was Marian thinking? True, you also do get free quartz for getting to 6. So, yeah, Muramasa did try to kill Morgan. He very clearly failed. And we're up against Berserker Avenger. We'll go Da Vinci. And I'm just going to go with this squad here. You're going for Koyan. Oh, these are Moors. This isn't as bad as I was worried. So you're going for Koyan, huh? Same here. Same here. She is evil, but I am very interested because, completely honest, I sympathize with pretty much all of the beasts, and Koyan is a beast. So I very much am interested in seeing what she is a beast of, and if I can sympathize with her. You're going for Oberon as well. I'm definitely... So currently Oberon is at the top of my to roll for list for this Lost Belt. I will actually probably be rolling on this current banner that is active, because Percival... Let's be honest, Percival has definitely earned himself a spot in my Chaldea. Percival is awesome. I should probably have done that a while ago. And then we can do that. And then do that. And then do... You got... Oh, you got... Tamba and Lancelot. Nice, Carlo. Nice. Oh, you can't actually level her up until you lost about 6 either. That's interesting, but not terribly surprising. I mean, unless pure prisms... Could you possibly use pure prisms to get enough mats to level her up? I honestly don't know, so... Not enough? Gotcha, gotcha. Muramasa. You need 200 bells! Holy cow! That's a ridiculous number. Who do I want the higher end piece? That has to be... Arts card effectiveness... Yeah, I think Muramasa, probably. So we'll do... So, Mordred, our unit is 991, you need to level up to 10, and you need 2 crystal stuff that you don't have. So, you need the... Okay, so those crystals... That's gonna be, like, the hard point of advancement for you. Those are oftentimes the rewards for the events. And, so yeah, that's gonna be a little bit of a stopgap to really get you leveling up. Like, right now it's a stopgap. Mordred is right, they do give them out like candy, but we are in the middle of a story release, so I wouldn't say you get 100 per year, Mordred. That's a bit much, unless you are talking like spending rare prisms on it. But yes, you generally get 3 per event. Every event gives you enough to generally level up 1 servant to 10, 10, 10 across the board. And then you also get a bunch more at various instances. Heck, I'm pretty sure Anniversary will probably end up giving some of those. We made it, our second time in Gloucester. Red Rabbit and Percival are waiting outside the city limits, so we don't have to worry about them. But unfortunately, we only have 2 invitations, one for Artoria and one for Seoul. And each invitation only allows a single +1, so who should go with them? Da Vinci and I make the most sense. We've both met Murian. Having you around would be helpful since words hit harder than swords here. But knowing you, I'm sure you have no problem sneaking in anyway. Naturally, I'm flattered by your trust, Muramasa. I know a number of Gloucester's fair ladies, and I'm sure I can find one in need of a kingly companion. Fine with me, you guys have fun. I'm just gonna spend some time in the city. Damn, I just realized it means I won't get to go to the ball after all. But that's okay, just means I get to have a great opportunity to visit the Count's shop. Come with me, Habitrot. You're concentrating on story that you skipped building the servants, you're concentrating on them now. That's, you know what? Focusing on the story is definitely a good point, because you have a lot of very powerful servants available, but that does mean that they have a very high material requirement, and some of the better nodes for farming materials are locked behind later things. In fact, just to help you out a bit here, let me see if I can't find the document. So, really quick, Lucarlo, I am going to send you a link. This is a community-made effort to find the most efficient farming nodes for every material. So let me see if it will paste. Copy. Paste. There we go. So yeah, that link should take you to a Google Doc with the most efficient farming methods for everything. You are probably fine at this point for farming most materials, and there will be a lotto event coming up before too long, which will make farming materials a lot better as well. Count Pepperon gave me a letter of introduction to his shop here when we left Londinium. He even said we should have a good time together. He's so considerate, don't you think? Well, the Count's store, huh? I guess that kind of sounds interesting. Okay, let's go. I wasn't really looking for fun tonight, but this doesn't sound bad. Wonderful. Glad you're both getting along so well. Now, moving on. What should we do about Little Miss Cold Feet over here, Soul? Yeah, we'll get her there one way or another. One way or another, we're gonna get her there. Guess that's all we can do. I get the left side, you get the right. Oh no, don't make me do this. I don't want to go to the ball dressed like this. I don't want to run into anyone I know. You're king, right, Oberon? You can go in and ring the bell. Just don't forget to bring me a souvenir. Something tasty would be nice. Cut that out. No proper child of prophecy would ever say that. Do you know how many aspiring Cinderellas would give their eye teeth for eye teeth? That is a very weird phrase. For an invitation to this ball, deal with it. Were you just doing a wicked stepmother thing there, Oberon? I'm sorry, I just didn't expect Artori to be so stubborn about this. Do you have some ball-related trauma? Did you get mistaken for a server or something at one before? Don't be silly, of course I've never had anything that embarrassing happen to me. It's just, you know, I'm basically the face of the Round Table Army now, so I don't want to go there underdressed. Oh, is that all? Well, don't worry then. Nothing better or more formal for a warrior to wear than their battle dress. Then again, if you prefer, you could always have Sol go on ahead. But I doubt you'll be able to find him later, so it'll just be you and Muramasa at the ball in that case. 5.2 is really good, but it is another massive difficulty spike, so I would focus on getting your servants up there. I would definitely focus on skilling up your servants, man. Honest advice, definitely put some focus on that, for sure. Alright, I will get going. Okay, I'll go already. Just don't leave me behind. You know, come to think of it, we are really late for this Nerofest. Like, Nerofest in Japan, in the JP version, pretty much happened around this time. So that's actually really interesting that Nerofest is so delayed for us. It's beautiful here. You know, this is amazing. I never would have thought there was such a fancy ballroom next to the auction house. It's a Fae domain within a Fae domain. A top-notch otherworldly... excuse me, reality marble, the likes of which you rarely get to see. You can tell since the inside of this building is clearly bigger than the outside. Whatever it is, that's damn impressive. If this place is any indication, Murian might just be the best damn gardener I've ever seen. And although he's so great, it's even got Artori to calm down. Well, have you known this is my second time here? So it's not like I was entranced by the scenery. I was mostly wondering why Murian hasn't bothered to greet us after she invited us. Whoop. Artori is pissed now. Once she gets over herself, she's a really dependable ally. You're right. Now that you mention it, I don't see her anywhere. I would have thought she'd be the first to use the Child of Prophecy to liven things a better part. May I have your attention, distinguished guests? On behalf of Lady Murian, the owner of this beautiful building, I would like to apologize for her tardiness. I've been told she should arrive in about 1 hour, so please relax and enjoy yourselves in the meantime. So Marine isn't even here yet, and there's no sign of Oberon either. What do you think, Sol? Should we just go and sneak into the bell tower now? Probably not yet. Actually, that's a question I've got for you, Mordred. This anniversary, will we get another chance to fight Tiamat and Solomon in the memorial quests? Because I honestly don't know, but I really need to get those MASH solos done. MASH is going to solo every single beast. Damn. It looks like we've got a new arrival. Oh, hey, Bargast. What? Damn. You know, that was not a bad... That is a very well-placed low whistle there, Da Vinci. Indeed. Damn. Oh, hello. Hey, look, who's the girl next to Aurora? Aurora's an exceptional beauty, but that fairy next to her is something... Oh no, Muramasa! You're falling for your enemy! I see, so you go for the prim and proper young lady types, huh, Muramasa? Got nothing to do with that, what I like. I'm just being objective here. Oh! Okay, Tristan. That's an outfit. It's Beryl and Tamlin Tristan. Yeah, that tracks, because Morgan's daughter's here. So that's Marianne's game, huh? She sure is a vindictive little brat, isn't she? Also, I can't help but notice that Tamlin Lancelot did, like, this again, it could just be speculation that Tamlin Lancelot had the sprite next to Aurora. But last section, towards the end, Aurora was talking to what sounded like one of Morgan's knights. And that knight wasn't truly loyal to Morgan. I'm wondering, was that knight Lancelot? So that's Marianne's game, huh? She sure is a vindictive little brat, isn't she? Maybe she's a perfectionist, one who clearly is not going to be satisfied until she downright obliterates anyone who defies her. Guess that was the last of the guests. You looking for someone, Artoria? Oh, no, it's nothing. I was just kind of wondering if Nock was here. That's all. Thank goodness she's not. Now I won't have to hear all her snide remarks about how she's so much better than me. Coral! Good day, Child of Prophecy. Congratulations on your victory at Lenidium. Coral has a bit of a stick up her ass, admittedly. But she's been nice so far. Coral, I'm so sorry. I was hoping I wasn't being too loud. Oh gosh, wasn't I? I'm sorry, I'm from the country, so I'm totally out of place here. Still, it's nice of you to come say hello. I know how you feel, but it's okay. There's nothing to be nervous about. Marianne's cast a spell in this ballroom that hides attendees' faces from anyone who doesn't already know them. So please relax. You don't have anything to worry about. Anyone you don't want to know seeing you here. These kinds of parties don't happen every day. It's best to enjoy them while you can. I see. Thank you, Coral. You know, I have to say, she does seem a bit more relaxed, that's true. I assure you, I'm not the least bit giddy about being here. I'm only here to guard Lady Aurora. Let me remind you, Foreign Mage, you may have been invited here, but you're still just a human. I suggest that you remember your place and not speak your mind so freely if you know what's good for you. And there's that stick up the ass attitude again. Thanks for the warning. You've always worried about humans' welfare, aren't you? That was your way of telling him that speaking to other fairies that way could cause big trouble, right? Oh. Or maybe not stick up the ass, but tsundere. Is Coral a tsundere, perhaps? Don't go putting words in my mouth. I intended nothing of the sort. Not like Lady Aurora. I have no fondness for humans, and I don't think of them equal in any way. Is that so? Yeah, Da Vinci didn't mention anything about equality. I think Coral's tsundere. Because the way I see it, Aurora might let humans do whatever they want, but you actually tell them what they need to hear. So between the two of you, you sound like you actually treat humans much more kindly then. Silence. I don't care what kind of fairy you are, or what clan you're from. To slander Lady Aurora is to slander the entire Wind Clan. And daring to compare her with the likes of me, absolutely unthinkable. I see now it was foolish of me to bother paying my respects to the Child of Prophecy. This is supposed to be a gala for distinguished guests. Brush up on your etiquette before you consider attending another. Gotcha. Sorry about that, but before you go, do you mind if I ask just one more question? I couldn't help but notice that the other fairy next to Aurora, is she serving as her escort tonight? Alright, Lucarlo, good luck with catching up, have fun, and may your rolls be lucky. Even though you're her right-hand fairy? No fairy shines more brightly than Lady Aurora. Only the most beautiful of fairies deserves to stand by her side. As such, I'm happy to offer up my seat to the one more suitable like her. Even if she is a grotesque creature who crawled her way up from the foulest sludge of mag... Okay, somebody doesn't like Lancelot. Yeah, you might have gone a bit hard there, Da Vinci. Well, that was a bust. I've been wondering just how different Coral's and Aurora's values really are for a while now, so I thought I'd take this chance to see for myself. But I guess I went a little too far. How different their values are. What did you people say to Coral? I've never seen her so upset before. You're the fairy who was with Aurora. Alright, I'm not wearing my armor today, am I? Pardon me. This isn't our first meeting, but it is my first time properly introducing myself. I'm Tamlin Lancelot. That was meant literally. She came out of sludge. Really? Welcome to the ball, Artoria, Soul. And who might you be, young lady? Would you mind if I asked your name? Not at all. I'm Leonardo da Vinci. Pleasure to meet you. Oh no. Tamlin Lancelot has the Lancelot gene. Where's Mash? We need the bonk. We need the bonk for this other Lancelot. Although, how is that gonna translate? Wouldn't? We'll see how this plays out. Well, I might be called a technical advisor, but I'm still an artist first and foremost. I can help but appreciate beauty wherever I find it. Well, damn, if you don't seem like a totally different person. Is that what you're like when you're not in armor? I'm sorry, have we met? You mean you don't remember? You knocked me off a damn castle and filled me full of holes. Oh, you must be Muramasa. I'm sorry, I never got a good look at your face. That's an interesting expression. I do remember you, though. Cutting you like a fish was so much fun. I knew you must still be alive. I had a feeling we would get to fight again someday. I wonder when our next fight will be. Maybe you'll finally manage to cut off my head. Oh, I can't wait to punch that cobbled-together spirit core straight out of you. Oh, yeah. Right on. Hell, she kind of reminds me of Oberon. She's the princely type. A total prince. No wonder she's been gifted Lancelot's name. You wouldn't happen to be Avalon's... Alright, Aurora told me not to let my true personality show too much. Congratulations on your victory at Londinium. We may be enemies, but that was a battle well fought, and I must commend you. Also, there's one thing I'd like to ask you. How's Percival doing? I've been told he's alive, but... Is he hurt at all? Or is there anything unusual about him? Well, his hair's started to turn black. But you know him. You know him. I'm his big sister. So, sibling... Oh, okay? No wonder you're worried about... Percival's big sister, huh? Tamlin Lancelot, you are just becoming more and more of an interesting mystery here. She is an enigma, that is certain. Tamlin Lancelot? She just up and left after telling us she was Percival's sister. Strongest human and the strongest fairy are siblings. Wow. Percival kept this pretty close to the chest. I don't think he was hiding it from us. There just was never any reason to bring it up. Is this something most people in Britain know about Artoria? No, not at all. In fact, I don't think most people would believe it if we told them. So, I'm pretty sure... And Percival considered Woodwose a father figure as well. And if memory serves, Percival was at an orphanage, was he not? And he was chosen for the Spear of Selection or something like that. I can barely believe it, and I just heard it straight from Lancelot. Then I guess Percival wants to keep it a secret. It'd probably be hell on the Round Table's army's morale to know their commander is actually Lancelot's brother. But that obvious Tamlin just spilled the beans like it was nothing. I swear, Tamlin just seem to go around doing whatever the hell they want all the time, don't they? So now what do? It's not a big deal. I think we can just keep this to ourselves. It's not as though Percival and Lancelot are in contact, and it's not our place to comment on their relationship as siblings. Got it. If you're okay with that, we don't mind keeping it quiet. I still don't get how they can be siblings at all when Percival's human and Lancelot's a fairy. It's not uncommon for fairies to adopt humans as their children. So I'd guess Lancelot and the fairy who took in Percival are old acquaintances. Well, this explains why he didn't want to go near Salisbury. Da Vinci. We know that Woodwose took in Percival, though. You there, human? That's right, I'm talking to you. One of the Tamlins said they wanted to talk to you out at the terrace. Get out there and fast. Make sure you're on your best behavior, too. Alright, what Tamlin are we... Well, there's only one Tamlin left at this point, isn't there? Well, you are the only human here, so... What are you gonna do? Are you gonna go see what she wants? I'll take care of this alone. Of course, even with Marian's rules in place, this is still enemy territory. And that terrace is a private area, so no other fairies will bother us there. It's perfect for clandestine conversations. I guess Lancelot must have more she wanted to ask us about us after all. Fine with me. Honestly, I was hoping to observe her a little more anyway. Muramasa. But wish I'd meet her outfit. Just her outfit. Though I could pick up some tips from its construction, you know? Muramasa. Is this how Tamlin Lancelot operates? Normal Lancelot goes for the married women. Does Tamlin Lancelot go for the men in relationships? Though I don't think Muramasa counts at that. So maybe not. Oh, it's Barghest. She's not a Tamlin anymore. I gotta say though, this is an interesting outfit. I think I like the armor design better. Yeah, I definitely like the armor design better for Barghest here. The armor design just looks a lot cooler. Don't get me wrong, that arm piece, it almost looks like a claw reaching out from her own arm. But I definitely think that the armored outfit is a much better look for Barghest here. I'm impressed you accepted the invitation from an enemy. Not that I ever doubted you would. You know, we'll still compliment it though. Compliments. Dress looks good on you. Of course it does. I'm a lord, so I'm not so barbaric as to wear armor to a ball. Good evening, Barghest. We haven't seen you since that night in the Welsh forest. We also have no idea what kind of disciplinary measures you had to face afterwards. Lolilot is the opposite of Lancelot. She's very faithful. Interesting. If you have something you want to say to us, why don't you start with that? What is it, Barghest? Is this for Soul's Ears only or something? No, not exactly. It's not that, Da Vinci. You just captivate her. Come on, Barghest. Spit it out already. We don't have all night here. I know, I'm a busy woman myself, so I'll keep this brief. Da Vinci, was it? I'm certainly confined to my territory, but I've been relieved of my duty to protect Britain. Consequently, I have no reason to raise a hand at the Child of Prophecy now. I wasn't even planning to attend this ball at all until I realized I might see you all here. So I swallowed my pride and came here to speak with you. Does that answer your question? Sure does. I know you don't mean us any harm right now, but I had to be sure you understand. Pay no heed. You're the foreign mage's advisor. I understand you had to ask. Now, here's my question for you. I'd like you to tell me whatever you can about the outside world, about proper human history. High Queen Morgan has given me a broad overview, but I still know nothing of its history, or what things are truly like there. I would like to know if you are actually merciless arbitrators, barbaric invaders, or well-meaning visitors who truly wish to know our history. Well... Because you don't have a Tree of Emptiness, we're the well-meaning visitors. Because you don't have a Tree of Emptiness, if you still had a Tree of Emptiness, we will be ruthless arbiters who would sentence a whole other race to extinction, committing genocide for the 6th time. Because I'm sure that totally doesn't weigh on our consciousness at all. I will reserve judgment until further notice, Mordred. And there you go. That's about all I can tell you in the limited time we have. Our battles in the Lostbelt have been to reclaim our history and our future. This place isn't our target now, but it's still a Lostbelt that will eventually need to be pruned. But that doesn't mean we have any issue with this Lostbelt's inhabitants, or that we want to erase its history. Even though this may be a zero-sum game where only a Lostbelt of proper human history can ultimately survive, that's an issue between worlds, not residents. Or... hear me out. Morgan captures Faerie Britain in Rongominiad like it's a Pokeball, and voila! Faerie Britain is saved. Is that how you feel too, Soul? My thoughts are probably much more complex. You see, you truly are a young man of integrity, aren't you? In that case, let me now ask you this. Do fairies exist in proper human history as well? Yep. Life isn't exactly easy for them, but we do still have fairies in the Britain's woods. There are also fairies in Ireland, the Isle of Skye, and France just across the channel. Ireland, Skye, France. I see. Alright, setting those questions aside for now. What about calamities and moors? Do those exist too? Nope. what a peaceful world you must be. I envy the fairies who inhabit it. Okay then, let's say strictly hypothetically. What if we were to... No, never mind, that would be asking far too much. I've learned what I wish to know. My apologies for taking up your time. Oh, Bargus wants to leave Faerie Britain. Does she know that's possible, is the question. Yes, you could move to proper human history if you wished. Spill the beans. Spill them. How did you know? I didn't think that would even occur to you. Please, it wasn't hard to figure out, and I have no doubt Soul feels the same after talking to you. Bargus, you've always seemed far more focused on protecting the fairies of Britain than the land itself. The whole reason you agreed to serve Morgan is because she was keeping Britain safe. But if she has no intention of protecting its people, you'd have to find another way to do so yourself. So it makes perfect sense that you'd consider moving them to a more peaceful place, like proper human history. But is such a thing even possible? The inhabitants of a Lostbelt can only survive inside their Lostbelt, and the fairies of Britain are doomed to be used and discarded as mere tools for High Queen Morgan. True, that was the case for the other Lostbelts, but Britain is different. It really is possible for you and the other fairies to exist in proper human history, Bargus. It won't exactly be easy, of course. There are a number of major hurdles you would need to overcome first, but they're nothing that can't be resolved through peaceful discussions. And I'm sure we can manage that as long as we have kind-hearted fairies like you and Artoria leading the others. I see. Then it seems I need to make a decision as well. Da Vinci, Soul. I'd like you to come to my domain, Manchester. I have a proposition I would like to discuss with you there. I understand if you still can't trust me. Just hearing what you had to say has been enlightening enough. Okay, I do think that Barghest will be ruled for. Barghest has shown a lot of integrity, amongst other things. So I do think that Barghest deserves to be ruled for when she's on the banner next. She definitely seems like a proper knight, a proper protector. I have respect for Barghest. In my opinion, that makes her the most normal of all the fairy knights. Although she is, or Tamlin, although she is very much willing to commit atrocities in the name of Morgan, I guess, but that's just a knight serving their king. Sorry, it took me longer to get in through than I thought. Was that Barghest I just saw leaving? Looks like whatever she wanted must have been pretty serious. She didn't challenge you to a duel or something, did she? No. I see, so she's thinking about emigrating to proper human history. There's something I hadn't considered. Well, that's just the kind of bold thinking I'd expect from her. Definitely an idea worth pursuing. I wish you could have been there for that discussion. So what did you tell her? That was as far as we got. It's too dangerous a topic to discuss here. So she asked us to come to Manchester to talk it over. What do you think, Oberon? Manchester, huh? Not sure I like the sound of that. The rule of Barghest's domain is survival of the fittest. A very literal dog-eat-dog world where the weak are just meat for the strong. I'm not talking natural laws here either. This is something everyone truly believes. In Manchester, the weak offer themselves up to the strong, and the strong think of exploiting the weak. The very idea for fighting their lives never even crossed their minds. Gloucester's fate domain is designed to let the weak and strong coexist on equal footing. But Manchester is all about letting the strong do whatever they like, the weak be damned. Still, if you're absolutely positive that Barghest won't try to attack you there, then I suppose you could pay her a visit. Baggy doesn't seem like she means us any harm, but she's also definitely a carnivore. Well, if she did decide to eat us, there wouldn't be anything we could do to stop her. Not really. You know the stories about the Black Dog Duchess, right? Barghest has taken a number of lovers over the years, but none of her relationships have lasted very long. They say she'll marry her then boyfriend and bring him back to her mansion, then by the next day she'll have eaten them whole. The only creatures in all of Britain who eat fairies are the Black Dogs and Barghest. She may struggle against her nature, trying to be civilized, but those instincts will win out eventually. There's a reason she's so widely feared. I really can't endorse this plan. So that's why she called the Black Dog Duchess. Come to think of it, Mike said something about her too. Gawain of many loves, Gawain the glutton, always hungry, never satisfied. She'll take a lover one day and eat them up the next. She seemed pretty sincere to me, but I guess that could just be part of her nature as a fairy. Let's forget about Barghest for now. We still have an objective here, and we should focus. Okay, everybody has their flaws. I mean... Again, she currently seems to be the most normal of the bunch. I I want to know more about why she eats people before I make a full judgment. Let's forget about Vargas for now. We still have an objective here. We should focus. Plus, let's be honest here. Melt literally melts people down. Aresh traps people's souls in cages. Jolter's a shooty, as is XA. So, you know, I'm fine with that kind of stuff. But I'm not saying Vargas is up there. She just seems very respectable. What makes you see Lollylot? That is a very weird phrasing, as not normal. I mean, I guess we just haven't seen enough about her. She seems very detached, I guess, so far. But there is a clear... She is an enigma, I guess is the better way to put it. I wouldn't say she's not normal as much as she is an enigma. She's called a dragon fairy. She's the most beautiful fairy in the land. She very clearly serves Morgan, but not truly, and is truly serving Aurora, I'm guessing. She is from an orphanage, and is Percival's big sister, and she's the most powerful fairy, supposedly. So she is just a very big enigma that I really want to solve. Let's forget about Vargas for now. We still have an objective here, and we should focus. The bell tower is right next to this hall. In fact, we can sneak in from this terrace. I think it would be best if we handled it now, before the ball ends. Are you ready, Artoria? Yeah, okay. After everything else that happened, I'm not nervous anymore. Come on, Soul. Let's go ring that third bell. Immigrating, huh? What a clever idea you had, Vargas. And just after you burned down the Welsh forest, too. Oh, Oberon's not too pleased about that mention. Oberon definitely holds some grudge, doesn't he? Oh, there's going to be a clash between those two, is there not? That's mostly background, though. You've seen some of her personality art. Like I said, she seems very aloof. Lancelot does. She seems very aloof and detached from things. As well as a battle nut. She definitely seems like a battle nut, and is very princely, as Da Vinci put it. Bell tower, 3rd floor. Merlin Magecraft finally came in handy. Nice work with that lock, Artoria. You did a hell of a job like a modern-day Mizumi, Kozu, or Jiraiya. I don't know who those proper human history fairies are, but something about their names tells me that wasn't a compliment. Now that you mention it, there are a lot of fairies who love to play pranks, but I've never heard of one who likes to steal money. I don't know. That was a very, ominous line from Oberon about, oh, Vargas, do you want to leave this place after you burned down my home? Yeah, I don't think Oberon is too pleased about Vargas wanting to, get out. Of course you haven't. Ordinary fairies would never have any need for money. It's only because Morgan created currency that fairy society started building banks to keep their property safe, and why lockpicking was developed in the first place. It's not easy to open humane safes with fairy sacraments alone, so now we have lockpicking. Merlin said something to that effect too, something about these skills being useful on a journey like mine. Never did ask her about Merlin. Ah! Never. Got it. Artoria, you said Merlin taught you Magecraft, right? Did he live in Tintangle too? Actually, I've never seen him in person. I've only heard his voice whenever I was by myself. Okay. Okay, so, again, this is calling back to something I theorized earlier, that Asic might have taken the guise of Merlin on when she, quote-unquote, died. Perhaps? But then why does Castoria look so much like Asic is the question. There's still too many questions about this. He said he'd been imprisoned by a scary queen, but that he could still teach me Magecraft if I didn't mind distance learning. So that's how I learned the basics of Magecraft. Everything else I basically come up with on my own. I see, that sounds like what happened with him in proper human history, Sartoria. By day, her adopted father taught her the ways of knighthood, and while she was asleep, Merlin taught her what she would need to know how to be king. Yep, that is more or less the same here in Faerie Britain too. Hang on, are you all hearing that chatter too? That fairyum you saw below was child's play. A fancy illusion, nothing more. But this is Gloucester, the city of trends, brands, and joy, and it is more than a party to liven things up, and it's excitement, stakes, pathos, drama, which is why I prepared a once-in-a-lifetime show for all of you to enjoy. This audition will decide the true queen. The winner of this battle will chart Faerie Britain's very future. Now get ready to howl, lift laughter, and gasp in envy, because now it's time for the main event. Where do those masked fairies come from? I knew it. I knew you were up to something like this, Murian. Allow me to introduce the contenders once again. Up on the stage now, we have one of the hottest couples in all the land. Tamlin Tristan and Her Majesty's beloved daughter, and Lord Barrelgut, Her Majesty's fiancé. Their opponent is the wind of change sweeping across Britain itself, Aizel's prophesied savior, Artoria the Child of Prophecy, and Lord Sol the Foreign Mage. They'll be here on the stage that Tristan and Artoria's fated showdown begins. I'm also told that Lord Beryl and Lord Sol have an even deeper connection. Can you think of a better matchup? I certainly can't. Now come to the stage. Whatever I may think, Gloucester's Belle will not reject one capable of defeating Tamlin Tristan. This is amazing. Trust Lady Murray to give us what we didn't even know we wanted. Lady Tristan means business this time. That's a traditional combat fairy outfit if I've ever seen one, and I have. Oh my gosh, no matter how many times I see Barrelgut, there's just something indescribably wonderful about him. Just look at his limber stature, his strong muscular limbs. He looks like an expert dancer. The Child of Prophecy must be quite the looker too, seeing how she defeated Lord Woodrose. I can't wait to see what the Savior of Britain looks like. Don't listen, Artoria. She's trying to run away! It's too late, she's already trying to sneak away. Get back here, Artoria. There's no getting out of this now. No, let me go. I can't do this. No, seriously, I can't. Just kick her onto the stage. It won't matter when she's up there. That's all the reason you need to kill all the Fae. Just for this, they clearly deserve death. I mean, they didn't know they wanted this. And Murian is a component of Kazura Drop, who is the most evil of the Sakura Five, so this kind of mischief isn't terribly out of characteristics. And I would not be surprised if Fitch put her up to this as well. Run. Oh, for liking Barrel. Good point. That's a good point. Also, do I get to go mano-a-mano with Barrel? I hope so. He deserves much pain. Alright, in a stage like this, has got to have a dressing room, right? Where's it at? Oh, if it isn't Muramasa, I'm glad to see you're still alive and well. Yes, there is a dressing room right behind the stage. What's this about? Great, give us a minute. Hey, Sol, come here a second. Yes, that is true. Liking Beryl does deserve death, but Tristan likes Beryl, so... Oh man, where'd they go? Are they seriously not going to fight after we went through all this trouble? Of course not. Nobody in their right mind would ever fight me. This isn't like the last time. There is no rule against magecraft. I'm wearing a much more glamorous outfit, and I've got you here with me. It's a shame I won't be able to cut that cheeky tongue of hers out, but I can live with watching her run off with her tail between her legs. In fact, I actually feel sorry for her. I mean, can you imagine anything more hilarious than a pathetic low-class fairy being paraded around as the Child of Prophecy, of all things? You couldn't find anyone more miserable in all of Britain. I am getting the feeling that is the case with Tristan and Beryl's relationship. That Tristan is the victim. See about that! Oh. Second Ascension outfit time. Very much looking like Asic now. Except obviously the staff and the bow are different at the least. I don't know about the sword. I honestly never realized Castoria had a sword until just now. I'm gonna have to check Asic's design to see if she has one too. Smile. Alright, okay, deep breaths, deep breaths. Well, you said your bit, Tristan, but what's with that totally obscene outfit? I'm Artoria, the Child of Prophecy, and on my honor as a caster, I'm going to ring the bell of pilgrimage, whether you like it or not. Try to get in my way, and I'll cut you and those tastefully expensive heels down to size. Casey got claws. Still didn't think you'd know a decent high heel if it stepped on you. but all that big talk is gonna make me losing much more embarrassing. I feel sorry for you, sure, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna spare you. Wait, you actually think you're stronger than me? Well, now I actually feel kind of bad. Uh-oh, wrong thing to say. I really do have nothing but pity for you, you know? You've had plenty of practice running home and crying to Mommy, right? I mean, I think so, since this'll be your second crack at it. No, it won't. You're the one who's gonna be crying after I tear you apart. Now, Tristan can't hold a candle to her trash talk, huh? Guess it's hard to compete with someone who's used to bottling up her frustrations. I know I'd like to have a chat with you a little more, Soul, but since this is a 2-on-2 battle, well, it was never gonna go any other way, right? Personally, this is my very first time fighting a master, and I'm going up against a seasoned veteran who's defied death more times than I can count, so I plan on treating this as a learning experience. Let's just enjoy killing each other, shall we, Kohai? Oh, I'm very much gonna enjoy killing you, Beryl. I hope we get to do... No, wait, we need Mash. Mash gets to kill Beryl, too. Mash needs to be here for Beryl stuff. Yes. Hey, J6! Welcome to the stream. It has been a little while, hasn't it? Happy things. Alright. Nice fight between the daughters of Morgan and fellow masters. Let's enjoy ourselves, kid. You'll die by being skinny. Instant enhancement. Gives backup for an attack boost. Need backup, Lady Spinner? But yes, currently Oberon is at the top of the list because he's been a bro this whole singularity. Percival is definitely in the number 2 position, so I will probably be rolling on this banner here because Percival has been amazing, and I definitely want him. Barghest is also very much up there for that want to roll because Mordred thinks it's weird that I think Barghest is the most normal of the Fairy Knights. Tamlin, whatever. I've seen their names used so interchangeably on Reddit, it's ridiculous. And, then is Tamlin Lancelot, where I consider Tamlin Lancelot an enigma right now that I very much want to unravel before I go for any rolls. Following that, at a very low bottom of the score is... Well, maybe not. Tristan, I definitely think, is being manipulated, so... Tristan could possibly be rolled for if we can see beyond what she's like beyond the manipulation. And Morgan... I had a theory that I went off on like a 10-minute rant on, my theory for that Morgan might actually be a good person, but I'm not going to reiterate that just this moment. But did you end up getting Lancelot then, J6? So when attacks inflict curse with normal attacks. Okay. And this is just Castoria solo. And she has the Child of Prophecy where every 3 turns she will activate that. Excuse me. Let's start with the BAA. Ow. I should probably be using Sword of Selection on her more often. And we should nullify Tristan's buffs a bit here. Okay. Doot. You think I've already lost? Stars that I once saw, many words, faint glimmers. No matter how far or tarnished it is, I will search for that star. Now then, let's raise the curtain around Calvin. Well, let's find out. I mean, I guess I am fairly low on the old HP front. But... we'll find out. No I would love if I could crit a little bit more too. There goes the Charisma of Hope. Let me go ahead and pop my own Charisma of Hope again. And let's do this. So now we should block the NP as well as the follow-up attack. As well as break this first bomb. We have another NP at the ready as well. Nice. Bastard, I'll tell you apart. Crit rate up, and here's the NP. Fetch, fail not. Curse and disastrous curse, huh? Ooh. Damn. Oh! Okay. Interesting. That's annoying. So he's gonna summon assistance when I break her. That's gonna be very annoying. Okay, I think that this is the right Mystic Code to be wearing, though. But did you end up getting Lancelot then, J6? Since you mentioned you rolled for her, but you got a lot of spooks. Fail. How deep did you go, though, was the question. Ah, you said too much. Fair then. Okay, let's try the buff block right off the bat. And then... I'm not going to use the NP this first turn. I'm going to set up a bit here. Oh, that's mean. That was a mean trick there, Tristan. But we have NP now. Let's do this and this, followed by this. So this is going to be a full turn of immunity damage. And is it a break? No, it is not. Damn. You're not at the point of 9 sync words or not rolling at all. Well, who knows? Maybe Lancelot will be back up on banner before too long, and you'll be able to roll for her then. Once after the anniversary, you know? Maybe. Maybe. Alright, keep up this. Oh, are you saving for somebody else then? In case of pity. I'm guessing that's the case then, J6. You're going for pity on somebody else? Ah. You want that bitch. You want that Koyan. I get you. Familiar of the oven. Ah, your main goal is Morgan, and you got her, so you're fine? Fair. This is definitely a tough fight. Yeah, this is a very tough fight here. I might need to use a seal to heal. I think I can get through one more turn like this, though. Oh, that is so unfortunate. Not a single crit. Oh, thank God the Charisma of Hope procced it. Okay, so yeah, if I want to survive, I need to use a seal to heal. I'm fine doing that, though. And then we also will do that for an NPD increase. I just did. It just came online. I used it turn 1. So it just came back. Okay, so take no damage on this NP. Fine, this charge game. Okay, we have another NP ready. But I can get away with not using it this turn, because we have invincibility thanks to Sword Selection. And we can use this turn to take out Tristan, actually. That is a hard-hitting curse, though. Like, holy cow, that hit 4,500 points. Alright. And I'm pretty sure from here it's a game set match. I don't think this Afrida will kill me. Did you have to use the seal to heal, or was my RNG just that bad? Oh, I didn't even... Wow, nice crit there, Artoria. Very nice. Okay. I'll use the Atlas Mystic Code. Yep. I'm still leveling up my Mystic Codes. I probably shouldn't be, but... Artoria 1. Uh-oh. Tristan doesn't look too happy. Uh-oh. No, it's leaving me. Wait. Come back. Mother's going to be furious with me again. She's going to ask me why I'm like this. Why I'm always like this. Tamlin lost after Bargus. This makes 2. Fantastic. So, I thought it was just revealing their names that... like their original names that lost them their Fairy Knight status. Or Tamlin status. But it's just losing that makes them lose their status as a Tamlin. Okay. I'm wondering what Tristan is. I know Ainsl's prophecy's right. From here on, the Child of Prophecy is the one to invest in. All that aside, where have I seen Tristan before? I remember now. I know exactly who she is. I saw her 100 years ago back in Lord Grimalkin's mansion. Getting Google ready. Her real name is Bao Bon Sith. She was a prostitute in Darlington and a vampire. Not necessarily. For Vargas, it seemed to hold her back. I'm guessing for Baobon here, though, it was a buff. A prostitute in Darlington and a vampire. I was not expecting that. A vampire? What in the world was the High Queen thinking? I can't imagine anything more disgusting than living on human blood. No wonder she stinks like a sewer. Uh-oh. I can only wonder how many humans she sold her body to. The resurrection 100 years ago. Remember how Darlington was overrun with corpses? She and Morgan must have been responsible for Darlington's destruction and Lord Grimalkin's becoming a night call. No wonder that damn vampire is the only one who made it out of that place alive. No, you've got it all wrong. I just... Stop it. Stop. Don't badmouth, Mother. Mother always knows best. So what if I suck blood from dead bodies? So what if I'm undead? Darlington wasn't my fault. She's running away. Baobon Sith is running away. I knew the Queen wasn't thinking straight. Why else would she choose a low-class fairy like that as her successor? Okay, yeah, I'm starting to feel bad now. Yeah, I'm starting to feel bad now. So she was lying about everything, huh? I guess that's no surprise. Well, shit, you really handed me my ass. You're as good as I've heard, soul. Pretty sure there's no way I'll ever beat you in a master battle anymore. So what are you gonna do now? Gonna have your lady friend there kill me, or are you gonna settle this yourself? As you can see, I'm totally unarmed now, and I don't have Baobon Sith to protect me anymore. Seems to me you're not gonna get a better chance than this to off me. Am I right? Soul. Yeah, he probably has something else up his sleeve. But MASH should also get a chance. You know, get her kicks and punches in. But out of curiosity, is there a shorter name for Baobon Sith? Because that is a mouthful. Unlike Barghest, which is nice and easy, Baobon Sith is a very large mouthful. So J6, Mordred, is there any nickname the community has for her? Gotcha. Too bad. I really thought I could end this here. Looks like you've got an even better nose for danger than Caddock. Now I'm really impressed. Well, time to show myself out. Besides, I don't see the point in playing with you anymore while MASH is still missing. So long, saviors. See you in Camelot someday. Spinel. True name revealed. Tamlin Tristan, true name, Baobon Sith. Okay. I mean, is there another name? Because that's what Beryl calls her, and I don't really want to mimic Beryl. Also, this section is going a lot longer than I expected, but I have gone on theory rants as well, so that might be why. Great work out there, everyone. I'm so glad you enjoyed yourselves. That's so. Pretty sure you are the only one here enjoying yourself. Your dumbass show made me pull out all of the tricks I've been saving, and way earlier than I'd have liked. Oh, what tricks? Did you join the fight while I wasn't looking? No. Shut up. Damn it, so much for saving it for Camelot. Oh, the outfit. By the way, Soul, I really have to thank you for this lovely outfit. I had no idea you'd been working on it in secret all this time. Or are you just too shy to say something sooner? You consider it little Dickens you? Actually... not one word. I think it looks great on you. Really, I honestly do. This is the best Ascension for Castoria. Thank you. I feel so dashing and gallant in this. When I think about people seeing me like that, it's enough to make even a timid thing like me want to give it my all. It seems you're all working together much better than you were last time you came here. Oh, someone a little upset about being the odd fairy out? Not anymore, no. It's not like you to be so acerbic, Oberon. Are you feeling left out too or something? Just a little, if I'm being honest. No fair making an outfit like that behind my back. Man, I was really hoping to put Artoria's official Child of Prophecy debut off until later. when we could really do it up in style at Londinium. Now, don't be like that. I'd say this debut worked out just as well as we could have hoped. You all saw how those upper-class fairies at the auction house too, right? They also saw Artoria beat Tristan fair and square, and in a manner befitting of the Child of Prophecy. So it won't be long before they've told all of Britain as well. Plus, we also got to ring the third bell while we were at it. Does this mean the Wind Clan officially recognizes the Child of Prophecy, Merian? Of course, now that the Bells recognized her, I have nothing more to say. That being said, Gloucester's still going to remain neutral. This was Tristan's show. I didn't decide to offer you the bell myself. As such, I haven't technically defied the Queen. While we're at it, let's get one thing straight. I have no plans to help the Round Table Army. Fairies and humans may both be equals in Gloucester, since we value brands and trends more than anything. But in general, I still hate humans, and the Round Table Army is no exception. So please, don't expect me to help them in any way, shape, or form unless they have an exceptionally good business deal for me. So that is interesting of Merian. I know enough about Kazura Drop to know that she loves humans and hates AI. So Merian being the opposite of hating humans is interesting. Now I see. So if we can work out a deal, you'll have no problem coming over to our side, huh? Over, would you knock it off with the can't we just all get along nonsense? Your blockheaded idealism really just pisses me off. Huh? The hell are you talking about? Never mind, just forget it. Anyway, I'm really busy right now. You guys can knock yourselves out with war all you want. Me, I have books to get back to. All the old Fae era documents I found in records I just bought from Camelot aren't going to read themselves. You all showed Balbon Sith who was boss, and even rang the bell like you wanted, right? So if there's nothing else you want from me, would you just get lost already? Can I ask where Koyan is? Oh, Lady Fox? She's... out on business at the moment. Apparently she finally found something she was looking for. I don't... Okay, so we know Oberon doesn't like Koyan, and I guess Merian is protecting... because Oberon has been shown himself to have a mean streak. I would wish her good luck with her work, but I know she doesn't need anything of the sort. Are we going to see Koyan now? Nope. Thanks for waiting, you two. We made it back from the ball in one piece. Oh, first time seeing their outfit. Well, I don't know much about fashion, so I don't have words to describe it well, but... you look awesome, Artoria. Your battle dress was good, but this is great. You think so? You know, maybe it does. That reminds me, your new armor looks really cool too, Gareth. Hey, they're bonding. Happy Cat. Oh, this has got to be a flashback to the past. Me? I'm fine. I was just a little taken aback by Artoria's new outfit. I'll be damned. I guess fairies of paradise really do all have the same taste in clothes. I'm glad to see you and Gareth are no worse for wear either, Habitrot. Okay, now let's get out of Gloucester then. We don't want to keep Percival waiting too long. Oh, don't worry. I already brought a souvenir for Red Rabbit. He's much more innocent than he looks, so I know he'd be disappointed if we didn't bring something back for him. Hey, that's a real considerate of you, Oberon. Now, if only a certain someone I could name would start following your example. Speaking of souvenirs, we got some of the last time we left Gloucester too, didn't we? I wonder how those fairies are doing now. Want to go say hi before we leave Artoria? They'll actually believe you if you introduce yourself as the Child of Prophecy now. Huh? You mean those fairies from last time? No, not today. It's a little too late for a surprise visit now. We can thank them the next time we're in town. Right, Artoria, you can see them anytime you come back here, can't you? Right, besides, I don't have anything to give them now. Anyway, next time I'll be sure to give them last return gifts before I pay them a visit. Got it. Now let's get going. Time is money and we still have a lot to discuss. We still have to discuss our next move. Why is Oberon acting so shifty? Oh, how come you're hanging back, Soul? Did you forget something? Oh, did you want to pick up some of the good tea while you're here? Wanted to ask you something, Oberon. Sure, what is it? That's not actually what I was going to ask you, but sure. I think Beryl may have been more right about you than even he realized. You really do have almost a sixth sense for danger, or maybe your life has forced you to develop one. Well, there's no point in keeping it secret, especially since it looks like you've already figured it out, so I'll be straight with you. That night, I was here in Gloucester, negotiating a deal that would help us defeat Woodwoes. It wasn't with Murian either. Is with Koyan, one of your enemies. Oh, okay, so I was right about Koyan interfering and taking out the High Queen's reinforcements. I didn't expect Oberon to have been the one to broker such a deal, though. Well, I can tell she's a horrible monster, probably at least as much of an obstacle to you as Morgan. But even poison can be useful, depending on how you use it. Poison is still poison? Exactly. That's why I took steps to ensure it would be used against our enemy Woodwoes, rather than against us. There was never any question of Morgan not sending reinforcements to help him. Woodwoes is one of her most valued soldiers, after all. And once her reinforcements arrived, Londinium would have fallen. Percival is a great knight, sure. But he has a bad habit of assuming every other soldier can fight just as well as him. He loves the Round Table army so much that he can't help but overestimate their abilities. Don't get me wrong, that's a good thing. It may be one of Percival's weaknesses, but as a commander of the Round Table army, it's inarguably a strength. Which is why I had no choice but to employ an underhanded trick. Woodwoes was fully aware of how many soldiers the Round Table army had, and what tactic they were going to use. He could have easily handled whatever the Round Table army alone threw at him. So I chose to deploy something he could never see coming, a foreign poison known as Koyan, which never previously existed in Britain. I knew where she could find something she was looking for. So I used that as leverage to convince her to stall the Queen's reinforcements for us. But she did much more than that. Much more than I ever expected. She somehow made every single soldier disappear without a trace. Yeah, she is a beast. An immature beast, but a beast none the same. It was a cowardly move, I know, and believe me, I'm not proud of it. But if that's what I have to do to advance our cause, I won't think twice. When this is over, I'd like you to decide my punishment. That's why you took the time to ask me about this, right? You could have said nothing, but you're my friend, and friends don't let friends do that kind of thing. I mean, you did what you thought was right, Oberon. I really can't fault you for that. Alright, the last arrow of Section 16. Even though this is a shorter section, it's still taking a long time. In 19th century Japan, around the end of the Edo period, the Satsuma domain sent a number of promising young men overseas, so that they could one day help Japan prepare for the age to come. Their ultimate destination was London, the capital of the British Empire, and the city leading the charge into the modern era. Excuse me. Okay, weird divergence here. This man was not chosen for the exchange program. He had been born to a poor samurai family. He had no property and no social standing to merit his inclusion in history. While he may not have been chosen as one of the students, he was able to stow away on the boat, carrying them, disguised as one of its crew. At this point, he no longer remembers why he left his homeland. Maybe he didn't want to be there for the end of an era. Maybe he was simply fed up with its culture. Or maybe he just wanted to see what life was like in another country. Either way, he no longer remembers. Still, there was one thing he loved more than his country, his family, his friends, or even people in general. Art. The only memory from the time that he barely retains is the premonition he felt upon arriving at the harbor. His eyes sparkled at the new world that lay before him. Compared to the stagnant hometown he had left behind, it may as well have been another planet. The man slipped away from his work at the ship and began exploring this new city, with only a map as his guide. It was like a dream come true. He wished he could stay longer. But he was cunning and knew the reality of his situation. He knew that dreams inevitably end, and timetables needed to be followed. As long as he returned to the harbor by sunrise, he would still be punished, but at least he would have a way home. So after checking the time and confirming he still had plenty of it, he snuck into a third noble's mansion. The mansion in question was home to many beautiful works of art, but there was one picture in particular which was so eerie and disturbing that it took the man's breath away. Reluctantly, he slipped back out of the mansion and returned to the harbor, where the exchange student's ship had docked right on time. It took him a full day to realize he had inadvertently wandered into an even stranger, more unfamiliar land. Anybody help, I just want to go back to Japan. From that point on, the man's life was filled with adventure. Soon afterward, he was captured by fairies and made into a slave. As the fairies' captive, he endured countless hardships. When the fairies thought he had reached his expiration date of 30 years, they set him free. Okay. I'm confused now. So, I'm gonna keep reading. But since he was not originally bred and raised in Faerie Britain, he still had many years ahead of him. How did somebody from the 1900s end up in Britain, in Faerie Britain? While the land of the Fae was far too harsh an environment for a man of 55 to endure, he had made sure to observe the fairies around him closely over his 30 years of slavery. He erased his old identity, hired fairy workers of his own, and founded a company. He had his fairies kill other fairies, dissect them, and study them. He then created a serum of perennial youth that slows aging process. Its effects were nearly imperceptible, but it was better than nothing. He continued his efforts for the next 40 years, becoming a 90-something-year-old man who still looked like a young fairy. Even then, he made it a point to only deceive the Earth Clan. This is about Spriggan. The Earth Clan fairies were narrow-minded and obstinate, but they also valued technology and were willing to trust someone based on the quality of their goods, rather than their personality. They were completely lacking in business acumen. And so the man became the Earth Clan's leader, secretary, and he got along with the leader better than any other fairy. There was even something of a friendship between the two. The Earth Clan's leader genuinely cared for the man, and together they started their own company. And so Spriggan and Capless, Faerie Britain's first general department store, was born. Sometime later, the man murdered the Earth Clan's leader in cold blood. He needed his name to develop Norwich further, in service of his goals. There is no one left in Faerie Britain who knows the man's original name. I doubt proper human history is any different. So Spriggan is well over 100 years old, and he somehow... How is that possible, though? Well, I guess it depends when the Tree of Emptiness burned, and Faerie Britain became a... No, the Tree of Emptiness just... Not necessarily. If the Tree of Emptiness was just decoration by the time it burned, and Faerie Britain was a lost world for a long period of time, then it existed parallel to Earth, and that could explain why things were drifting onto the shore of Faerie Britain throughout all of time. This man, Spriggan, drifted to Faerie Britain's shores. He somehow slipped through the cracks between worlds, much like Musashi did. I swear, I don't know when I'm going to get a decent night's rest again. Orders have been pouring in non-stop ever since yesterday. Camelot, Londinium, Edinburgh, our iron weapons are selling as fast as we can make them. And then there's the remnants of Woodwose's army, and the Gloucester's Bell Pilgrimage. Fairies calling for Morgan's downfall have been popping up in villages all throughout the land, not just in the major cities. Good grief, I can only imagine how the Queen must feel seeing her 2,000-year rule come to this. Queen Morgan must have been maybe a great ruler, but the masses still have no idea just how great her accomplishments are. I think... So, the man from humanity became the Earth Clan's leader, secretary, found he got along with the leader better. He formed their own company, Spriggan and Capless's, Faerie Britain's first general department store. And then the man murdered the Earth Clan's leader in blood and needed his name to develop Norwich further. So, Spriggan... This is not the original Spriggan. The man from Earth in the 1900s killed Spriggan and took his identity. So Spriggan is human. We already established that a ways back as well when we first rang the Norwich Bell of Pilgrimage, that Spriggan was human. I just wonder how he slipped in. And this does technically mean that Faerie Britain can exist parallel to proper human history. Only a scant handful of them could even begin to comprehend the sheer scale of her strategy. It's a lot like how those who live in cities only see their own homes and completely miss the fact that their city wouldn't exist at all if not for the ground it's built on. Well, this is a surprise. It almost sounds like you want Morgan to keep ruling. Not at all, I'm simply stating facts. Personally, I agree with the world at large. It's time Her Majesty stepped down. I'm not even saying she's at fault. She's simply been in power for far too long. The Queen has made an excellent country, but her values are simply too old-fashioned. I can hardly blame her, seeing as she's over 2,000 years old. Countless generations of her subjects have come and gone, and in all that time, their values have changed. If the Queen continues her policy being at one with nature while tightly controlling the human population, this island will never grow beyond its current tiny size. There are few things more frightening than the harm perpetrated by an out-of-touch gerontocracy. Old parts are meant to be changed out, not left running forever. Well, if that isn't political commentary at its finest. Of course, I have no intentions of becoming king myself. Even in the world of proper human history I come from, Britain was ruled by a queen. So I believe Faerie Britain is also best ruled by a queen, wouldn't you agree? Then who did you have in mind for the next one? Ideally, I would prefer a bright and cheery fairy who genuinely loves her people. One of the surpassing beauty who is more wicked still and preferably ignorant of her own foolishness. Now that would be a queen worth supporting. If I ever never serve another overly intelligent ruler in my life, it will still be too soon. So that's why you choose her. True, she doesn't like it would be a fit to you. The chances of that coming to pass are negligible. She has no hope of defeating Morgan, much less assuming the throne. Right you are. As far as I know, there's only one person out there capable of defeating her. And as luck would have it, my soldiers keeping an eye on the battlefield just happened to find them. All I have to do now is decide when to send them in. I must say I'm glad we're in Britain. Well, no one else here is too familiar with the idea of using a piece captured from the enemy for your own ends. You're not born with a trump card, you gain them as spoils of battle. That said, I haven't exactly had many opponents to play with over these last 100 years. Who is Spriggan talking to? I do wonder. Balban is back home, and she is not in a good state. They let me escape. They took pity on me, the High Queen's daughter. Bear was there helping me. I wasn't holding anything back. So why couldn't I win? Me, the High Queen's own daughter? Somebody's raging. Mother doesn't need any daughters but me. There doesn't need to be another mage than me. If only I had some magecraft that was just mine. Something special, fit for the Queen's high daughter. Oh. What was I thinking? I haven't lost it all. All I have to do is bring the garden from Mother's throne. Uh-oh. Balban, what you be doing? Hey, Curtsy, welcome to the stream. How be things? That is section 16. Section 17. It's a 5-arrow node. Oh, I'm tempted. I'm tempted. Should I do this node? Do I have the time to do this node tonight? That is the question. I think I will do this node, so I'm going to really quickly pause the recording for the YouTube side of things.